Hello, and welcome to another fantastic episode of Anarchy among Friends Roundtable discussion. Before we get started, let me remind you that we are covered by the BIPCOT No Government License, which allows for the use and reuse of this podcast by anyone and everyone except for governments and the bludgies thereof. You can learn more about that at bipcot.org. That is bipcot.org. We're also protected by Brandenburg v. Ohio, 1969, which ruled that the government cannot punish inflammatory speech unless that speech is, quote, directed to inciting or producing imminent lawless action and is likely to incite or produce such action.
Hypothetically.
So everything we say here on the podcast is hypothetical.
Yep.
This is episode 98, which means we are dangerously close to 100 when we all get tired of this and start pod fading. Or we go for another 100. It's a coin flip.
I'm gonna be gone for most of August. You guys cannot do the 100th episode without me, though.
What the fuck?
What? No. What? You're just gonna make us hold and wait?
I'm driving across the country with all 4 of my kids in the car and back. So let's not start talking about who's gonna have it tougher.
Let the little one drive, and you can do the podcast.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. He's got it. Cruise control's a thing.
He's such a quick little, he's such a sharp little fucking
episode
guy.
100 will be nothing but Declan telling stories.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, he could talk for 2 hours straight if you let him. Easily.
700 views easily.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, if we wait for you to get back, though, don't we have to do like a 6-hour-long episode just to cover everything in that month while you're gone?
Well, I mean, we could just do 2 days in a row.
Anyways, because that's too much. That's too
Right.
much data.
Yeah. We could just do 3 weeks in a row to catch up when I get back.
What if we just
Or
made an episode 99.5?
No, damn it.
When are you leaving?
Sometime in the beginning of August.
That doesn't help me.
August 4th.
Okay, well, the 2nd is 2 weeks from now.
Okay, yeah.
So let's do one next weekend for 99 and one the following weekend is 100.
Yeah.
And then we hit 100th episode before you head out.
You know what you could do?
And then Derica's gone, and then we have 3 weeks in a row of people asking us, "Where's Derica? Where's Derica? This show's boring."
People don't fucking ask that. You're just trying to make me feel good about myself.
Is it working?
Literally.
Well, yeah, I mean, of course it is.
Flattery will get you everywhere.
Every fucking where. Yes, it will. Because I'm going to Oregon for my birthday, which makes me a Leo, which means flattery will literally get you fucking everywhere with me.
Fucking youngsters.
Oh, come on. You were 40 in January.
Yeah.
And I'll be 40 next month.
Which makes you a youngster.
Fucking
Andrew, how does it feel to be
7 months younger than you?
Our chat on Keybase
The
and
baby.
the young man here?
Oh yeah. Yeah, the Boog Boy chat that we're in on Keybase, the oldest person other than us, I think, is probably 25.
Oh my god.
Maybe 28.
I've
28.
I've collected strays older than that, my son's friends.
I have.
Because I'm
books older
that
than
mom. All of my kids' friends are my strays, and they become my children. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I have great.
I know people in my life that are not related to me longer than that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I said something.
Yeah, I have friends older than that, friendships older than that.
Yeah, I said something the other day to Lindsay. I was like, I think I was 25 at the time. So it would have been, 8 years ago, 9? And
shut the fuck up, Andrew.
And she's like, oh, wow. Are we really that old? And I'm like, yeah, that much time has passed since I was.
Yep.
Yeah. Holy crap.
Yeah. So.
It was quite entertaining when we first started the group chat. They're like, so how old is everybody? And I'm seeing 21, 20, 19, 25. I'm like, my God, Andrew and I are going to be the old Vietnam veterans sitting here going, I remember.
Back in my day.
How old are you, Christopher?
Bust out
35.
bust out
You're
a
what?
tape, bust out a
35.
tape, and then
35.
you bust out a tape and a number 2 pencil and just blow their mind.
Yeah.
Start talking about the good old glory days of Blockbuster. And
Yeah.
we didn't know how good we had it. We're sorry, Blockbuster.
Blockbuster, is that on the blockchain?
Yeah.
Listen here, you little shit.
Oh,
Right.
yeah, like I tried to explain to a Gen X or Gen Zer, the other day, like the concept of a computer that didn't have a GUI, and he completely didn't understand what I was saying. Not what I'm like, no. So he's like, wait, what about your desktop? No, there is no desktop. You're not understanding. It just you turn it on and it runs a program or it doesn't. That's the way it is.
Apparently,
And
this Gen Zer is not into IT at all because 90% of my job is that little blinking freaking cursor going,
Yeah.
what do you want to do?
D,
Yeah.
colon,
That's how we used to
backslash,
have to load
run.
games like Star Fox and Carmen San Diego and Oregon Trail. We had to use the fucking command prompt to load that shit.
Number munchers.
Yeah.
played the Ghostbusters and Kabbalah on Commodore. Was it Commodore? It was a Commodore. It wasn't a 64. Is it a 256? I think it was a Commodore 250, but it was a Commodore for sure. And it was all green. You know, it was the monochrome green and everything. Yeah, like that is how I started out my gaming career, is doing that. So
we had an Apple that we got back in like 88, I want to say. And it was one of those orange monochrome monitors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course it was orange. It was Apple. They just can't do anything that makes it look a goddamn sense.
No, my favorite game back in the old CLI days was the text version of Dungeons and Dragons.
That
Never
is some
played that.
serious nerd porn.
Yes, it was. But you know what? They had some good stories.
Like,
Dude, I used to play online text-based RPGs. They were a blast once you figured out the controls, because it took you 3.5 days of solid play to even get the general gist of how to move.
Nice.
well,
All right, what are we talking about tonight, Jason?
I don't know where to start.
Let's get this plane in the
Should we
air.
start north of you?
What?
North of you.
Oregon, Portland. The secret police, is that one of the things?
I don't know that I want to start with.
I don't want to start with that. I want to start with let's do an update on Virginia, because we have the Virginia lady here.
Not
Virginia,
by choice.
yeah,
by fucking
Virginia
necessity.
judge upholds much of new background gun check law.
Of course.
Virginia judge on Tuesday. The article is July 14th. Held much of the new state law that expands background checks for gun buyers, but issued an injunction preventing it from being enforced on buyers between 18 to 20 years old. Virginia Attorney General Mark Herring intends to appeal the injunction, his office said in a statement. The law was one of 7 gun control measures passed by the new Democratic majority in the General Assembly this year. It requires a background checks for any gun sale, even between private individuals. Now,
let's be clear. Passed by Richmond, Virginia Beach, and Alexandria, and fuck the rest of the state. Let's be clear about that.
It's the same situation as in Washington, Oregon, California, Chicago, New
New
York.
I would
York
even
is-
argue
yep.
some of that's in Wisconsin with
Yeah, even
Madison.
In
and-
Wisconsin, absolutely. It's the liberal, dense urban population.
Yeah, Minnesota.
And
I mean,
all
Yep.
and all statutory houses are based on population densities.
Yep.
So they have more people in the house, and that's how it gets passed.
I mean, look at Illinois. It's entirely run by Chicago.
Yeah.
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 The entire state.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
had the funny thing about Illinois is if you had partway south in it, all of a sudden you actually start hearing southern accents. Like it's a
Mhm.
super rural southern state.
Here in California, once you get out of the San Francisco and LA areas, it's very conservative. There's parts of this state on like the North Coast that are yellow, that are libertarian.
Yeah.
So
All right. On with the. Sorry, I interrupted you, Jason.
yeah,
I just
this
wanted to
is
make that
this is the
distinction.
part where Andrew's going to have a heart attack because he's going to have an aneurysm. The judge wrote that the act was, quote, factually valid, valid based on historical justifications, and factually constitutional. But he wrote that the state is currently unprepared to administer it in a way that does not infringe upon the rights of adults under 21 to buy a handgun. That's because the federal law does not allow a federally licensed firearms dealer to sell a handgun to anyone under 21 or to run a background check on a person attempting to make such a purchase.
So I can carry a fucking missile launcher overseas at 18. But God help me if at home I want a pistol to defend myself.
Yep.
Yep.
It's just
Virginia's making everything 21. They just made smoking 21.
Yeah.
Well, it's
So-
Here,
federal
hold on.
21 now.
This is the quote. This is the quote from the HG quote. Universal background check systems only work if they are truly universal, and we believe this potentially dangerous, judiciously created loophole is without bias in the law. So while the judge agreed with nearly all of our argument and largely upheld the law, we believe that this injunction, though limited and narrow, is worthy of a higher review.
They only work if they're truly universal. So what we're going to do is make sure that all the back alley deals that the gangs are doing out of their trunks, we make sure that we have a special after hours NICS system for them.
That's what I was gonna say. Can anybody name one fucking law that works if it's not evenly applied to everyone and everybody complies with it? Like one law that can work without that. Give me fucking one. Can anybody think of one law that can work without being universally applied?
No.
And
I mean,
complied with.
I'm so glad that they set the age to 21 though, because I mean, that's how we stopped 21-year-olds from drinking. Was we made the drinking
That's
age
how we stop
21.
underage kids from dying of alcohol poisoning in wheat fields.
Right, exactly,
Yeah.
because the
And,
drinking age is 20.
prohibitions work so well, it stops 14-year-old girls from laying in their parents' yard with their friends and smoking a joint. I mean,
Yeah.
that never happens.
Not
No.
once.
Yeah.
Nope. It's
So,
a
valid,
miracle.
so the judge wrote, valid based on historical justifications and
What?
facially
What?
facially constitutional.
what fucking what history does this man know that I am unaware of?
That's the history he's reading.
Yeah, like no, but see, that doesn't even work, because in Germany 18-year-olds could totally carry fucking sidearms. The 18-year-olds were part of the fucking Wehrmacht.
Yeah.
Shit, they
But they
brought
were-
15-year-olds into the
okay.
Wehrmacht.
That's okay because that was government issued weapons.
That's true.
That's
It's not a private firearm. So
I mean, it just
Because it's okay if the government does it. It's just
Right.
not okay if we do.
And
And
that's
historically in the United States, the majority at the founding of the United States, the majority of the founding fathers were in their early to mid 20s.
Yeah, Thomas Jefferson was 21 when he wrote the Declaration of Independence.
Like, that's the majority of them were early 20s. But no, historically, this totally checks out that only 21-year-olds should have firearms. What?
Yeah.
It's just... And it's totally constitutional. I'm pretty sure that the Second Amendment doesn't
totally
mention
not.
21.
it's the new freedom.
I see. This is the new freedom normal.
yes.
Oh,
and-
wait, but
don't
the Second
forget-
Amendment says the right of the people. And we all know if you're under 21, you're not a person
You're not a
yet.
person.
Yeah.
But it's
Democrats
okay if
really
that's
like
a
to push the
vote on
personhood narrative. Like it's,
But it's okay. We won't give them any rights except the right to vote.
and to die in our wars.
And to
Wait,
die.
that-
Yeah.
And they
So-
want to push that right to vote to 16-year-olds.
Right.
And they want to push the right to fucking join the military and die downward, or kids at least being groomed for it younger.
Mhm.
Well, yeah.
Didn't we
Yeah.
cover that? They want to be able
Yeah,
to
we
push
covered it before.
recruiting back to like sophomore year of high school.
Yeah,
Something like
like a 14-year-old.
like 14-year-olds. Yeah,
Oh Jesus, that's like 8th grade freshman year.
yeah.
Yeah,
freshman year.
14-year-olds is their goal.
Yeah, I can remember going through high school, and every semester through our physical education program, we always had the recruiter from the local National Guard Armory come out and do like PT drills. We did an entire like 2-week long unit on
There we go.
training, essentially.
Oh yeah, I can remember like being encouraged to go do the National Guard
Yep.
their obstacle course thing when I was a freshman and sophomore in high school, and and talking to them. Although I got lucky because I also distinctly remember Veterans for Peace having an entire table in our lunchroom for like an entire year, my senior year of high school in Reedsburg. So there's also that. I mean, counterpoint. They,
Yeah, we didn't get that luxury. All we had was the National Guard guy coming in and going, "All right, everybody, pound your face." It's like, God damn it.
Oh,
Guys,
yeah.
I'm a little high. I
All right.
totally lost track of what we were talking about. I just fucking
Well, since
quit
14-year-old
listening.
recruitment.
since Derek is high and we've drifted onto the military. All right, black disabled veterans sentenced to 60 months in prison for medical marijuana.
And I'm a disabled veteran. Holy shit. What a segue.
This
Fucking
is such a clusterfuck.
It infuriates me and every other vet who ever suffers from PTSD and
It's not
suffers
like-
from the pain that comes from having certain, because it destroys your joints and everything.
Yeah.
And like all of that. And this story makes you want to start choking people.
Oh, it's not just the arrest. It's everything after the arrest. This dude gets fucked by the government again and again and again and again, and now he's in a cage.
If it please the crown, might I, after having destroyed myself at the crown's behest, be allowed to alleviate some of that pain?
In one place, yes, and the other place, no. Which is the kicker of this. Okay. 2016 arrest for marijuana that has turned into a 60-month sentence in an Alabama penitentiary for disabled veteran from Arizona is drawing national attention. On June 30th, Alabama Appleseed director Leah Nelson wrote an account of an arrest and pending imprisonment of a black disabled veteran that could not have happened in many other states. The story was picked up by the New York Times and a number of other national news outlets. Sean Worsley, a disabled black veteran, and his wife Ebony were arrested in Pickens County in August 2016. The Worsleys had visited Ebony's family in Mississippi and were on their way to North Carolina to visit his family. They made the life-altering mistake of stopping to purchase gas in Alabama on their way to North Carolina.
Never stop in Alabama.
Yeah.
No, if you can help it, don't fucking stop in Alabama.
Ever.
Or Georgia.
Sean was wounded in Iraq. The 33-year-old veteran is disabled with a traumatic brain injury, post-traumatic stress disorder from his service in Iraq. He uses medical marijuana to calm his nightmares and soothe his back pain. His medical marijuana was prescribed and purchased in Arizona, where it has been legal since 2011. A Gordo police officer approached the Worsleys at a gas station. He said their music was too loud, which was a violation of the Gordo noise ordinance, and asked to search the vehicle. The Worsleys, believing they had broken no laws, that was a mistake. Marijuana is still illegal in Alabama, even if you purchase it in one of the other states where it is legal. The officer said he smelled marijuana and asked the couple about it. Sean told him he was a disabled veteran and had a medical marijuana card. Quote, I explained to him that Alabama did not have medical marijuana. I then placed the suspect in handcuffs, the report reads. Ebony told the officer that the marijuana was behind the seat. The officer found the marijuana and the rolling papers and the pipe Sean used to smoke it, along with a 6-pack of beer, a bottle of vodka, and some pain pills, for which Ebony had a prescription. Both of them were arrested.
So,
Ebony's pills weren't in the original bottle, which the officer said constituted a felony. The couple were both charged and spent 6 days in jail, but that was just the beginning of their Alabama legal saga.
Oh, the South and pot is just the most absurd, authoritarian, psychopathic load of fascist bullshit I've ever seen.
Yeah. The
Oh,
South is
dude.
not rational.
And you
on many
transported
fucking
it.
topics.
Oh, you transported it
Yeah.
across state lines. Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if
one-
it's in medicine and you fucking need it and your doctor fucking prescribed it, cops should fucking leave that shit alone. Be like,
Sure.
hey,
not only that,
tell
but
me
like,
that you're
why,
just passing through the state.
The two things right here is one, it was a prescribed medical marijuana. Two, the pills were prescribed to her, but they just happened to not be in the bottle.
I
Right?
carry prescription pills in my little pill thing all the time.
Right. So I want to I want to point this out. A lot of elderly people have all of these intensely powerful medications, and they always use those
And they
little
also
pill
have,
sorters.
like, because they have like this super crazy daily regimen of pills, so they have
Right.
to organize it like a week in advance.
Right. So
Yeah.
are they all committing felonies in the state of freaking goddamn Bama?
They are
I guess
actually
so.
committing felonies in almost every, actually, I think every single state.
That's another
Yeah.
reason people need to
All right.
read the book 3 Felonies a Day. The
Yep.
average person commits
Absolutely.
3 felonies a day.
Hold on. This gets even worse. Once the Worsleys were released on bond, they paid $400 to get their car out of impound and had to have their car professionally cleaned because the venison they had been transported to North Carolina went bad.
Ew.
When they returned to Arizona, they found the charges made it difficult for them to maintain housing and stability. They moved to Nevada and leased a house. Almost a year later, the bail bondsman called them and told them the Alabama judge was revoking their bond on all cases he managed. They had to rush back or he would lose the money he had put into their bond and they would be charged with failing to appear in court. They borrowed money. They had to borrow money to return to Alabama. When they got to court, the Worsleys were taken into separate rooms. Ebony explained that Sean was disabled with serious cognitive issues and needed a guardian to help him understand the process and ensure he made an informed decision. Ebony claims that Sean told her prosecutors told him that if he didn't sign the plea agreement, they would have stayed incarcerated until December and that they would charge her with the same charges. Rather than see his wife go to jail, he signed the agreement.
That sounds exactly right for the South.
Yeah,
Exactly
that sounds
right
just
for
like
the South.
Alabama. Like, have you guys ever watched the Innocence Files on Netflix?
Yeah.
It's like every third case is Alabama's fucking legal system screwing somebody over.
that
Hold on.
state
Hold on.
Yeah.
It gets
is
even better. It gets even better, you guys. Sean's plea agreement included 60 months of probation plus drug treatment and thousands of dollars in fines, fees, and court costs.
Drug
Right.
treatment for a drug he was prescribed to
Yeah.
use
By his
to treat,
doctor.
by his
Yeah.
doctor to treat his back pain and everything else that he incurred while in the service of the fucking country.
Because
Wait,
in the
yes.
land of the inbreds, they would
Just wait,
much
just wait.
rather have you on very dangerous, strong
Just wait.
narcotics.
Just wait. It gets worse.
But only if it's in the original bottle.
It gets better. Because the
But
Worsleys
people in the
lived in-
South will also
Yeah.
claim to worship the military.
Yeah, hold on.
So-
Right.
It gets better. Because the Worleys lived in Arizona at the time of their arrest, his probation was transferred to Arizona instead of Nevada. So they had to break the lease. They had to break their lease agreement and move back to Arizona. Sean's Arizona probation officer, however, told them that their month-to-month rental did not constitute a permanent address. At her direction, they contacted Sean's probation officer in Alabama, who told them to return to Pickens County. They were short on funds, so tried to do it by proxy. Drug treatment was another part of the terms of the probation. Sean was denied treatment by the VA because smoking cannabis for medical purposes, quote, does not meet criteria for a substance use disorder or meet need for a substance abuse treatment.
Because it's
Because they
prescribed
can't
by
do
them.
Yeah, because the VA fucking prescribes it now in states that allow it.
Tell me more. Tell me more about how the
Hold on.
South is this
Hold on.
free
Hold
and
on.
independent thing.
Just
and-
wait.
Yeah.
It gets better.
Oh,
Ebony is a certified nursing assistant who works with traumatized children. Her job offer was rescinded due to the felony charge in Alabama. She also lost her clearance to work with sensitive information to which she needed access to do her job. Hold on. For a while, the Worsleys slept in their car or lived with family. In July 2019, they were homeless. Sean lost his homeless veterans benefit with the VA because Alabama had issued a fugitive warrant for his arrest after Sean missed a February court date in Pickens County. The case was referred to district attorney in March 2019.
Hypothetically.
Burn it all down, man.
Hypothetically.
Jesus.
If this were in Minecraft, the proper response to this
Claymore
is for
Roombas everywhere.
All of the creepers who have attacked your town to be cut into small pieces and spread about the country on posts.
As fertilizer. Yeah,
No. As food for the crows. And a warning.
It gets better.
I think that's what scares me is the fact that this gets worse.
Yeah.
Now Ebony's health had failed and she needed heart surgery. Sean stopped taking on extra gigs to help her recover. To cover costs, the couple took out a title loan and lost Ebony's truck. When they could not keep up with the payments with no transportation, they lost their home.
Oh, Jesus.
Sean's benefits returned in August 2019, but to save money, he failed to pay the $250 to renew his medical marijuana card. In 2020, Sean was arrested at a traffic stop in Arizona, and the officer found he possessed marijuana without a valid medical marijuana card. Pickens County demanded that he be extradited back to Alabama at the cost to the state of Alabama of $4,345. This was added to the $3,833.40 he already owed in fines, fees, and court costs.
I wish that from my experience with the South, any of this, it surprised me at all.
Hold on.
Yeah, it doesn't.
Even remotely. It doesn't.
On April 28th, a Pickens County judge sentenced Mr. Worsley to 60 months in prison. That sentence would already have begun if it were not for the chronic prison overcrowding and the COVID-19 crisis that gripped the prison system. Sean has been in Pickens County Jail since early 2020. On April 28th, the judge revoked his probation and sentenced him to 60 months in the custody of the Alabama Department of Corrections. Sean's mother hired an attorney to appeal the case, but the process has only just begun, and most inmates begun their sentence while the case is under appeal.
You can't see this, but my face is about that color right now.
Yeah.
It's
with rage.
He's in prison for being a poor, disabled veteran. That's why he's in fucking prison.
But we here in the South, we support our troops.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
You don't give
fucking
a
say
fuck
you do because you
about
don't.
us.
Nope.
Ebony is in the hospital for more heart surgery, and Sean will leave behind 2 children from a prior relationship, ages 12 and 14. Quote, I feel like I've been thrown away by a country I went and served for, Sean wrote in a letter to the Alabama Appleseed. Quote, I feel like I've lost parts of me in Iraq, parts of my spirit and my soul that I can't ever get back.
Yep.
Oh, you don't just feel like it. You are. You have been discarded as worthless by the very people who will happily wave flags and go, support our troops.
Yeah.
Those same people are the ones who did this. They are the ones who push to keep the drug laws and keep the drug war. They are those people. Those are the people on the political right in the United States. They are the ones who are doing this to you. And they are the ones who will say that they support you and it's so wrong that we abandon you.
Yeah.
As they do exactly fucking this.
And we can break this down again and again and again and again and again. And what it comes down to is no victim, 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 no victim.
Yeah.
every
So
single
no
every
fucking
single
crime.
thing happened. Every single thing that happened was the state fucking him over.
Yep.
Because
He
he
didn't
was
hurt
a
one single fucking person.
Start
He hurt
starting
nobody.
with the goddamn music.
Yeah.
Goes
Yeah.
right back to the fucking music.
Yep. It goes back to these fucking like politically Puritan Southern states.
Oh
like,
yeah. The backwoods retards,
These
all
southern-
right? The fucking hick ass piece of shit, fucking third grade reading level, flag waving, government humping, but I'm independent and a rebel. Let me wave the flag of another country that failed and surrendered because they were fucking awful at everything conceivable. Crowd, that fucking crowd. Those people, they're the ones who did this to somebody who fucking put their life on the line because they thought it was doing them a fucking service. And then they have the fucking audacity, as they do this shit, to also say we support the troops and then put one of the most vulnerable of veterans through hell.
Yep.
Fuck you. I hope every one of those motherfuckers gets fucking necrotizing fasciitis of their rectum and dies a slow, painful, ass-eating death.
I was gonna say of their testicles, but the point is the same.
Yeah,
Let's just call it the taint. Necrotizing fasciitis.
There you go.
Yeah,
There you go.
the taint will work. It's same
The
general
taint, the
area.
I'll probably spread
It's-
to both.
Yeah.
It's got to start there because a brain eating amoeba wouldn't, or
Amoeba.
amoeba
That's the only
would
place
starve.
Yeah.
Would starve.
It would just go in one ear and be like, oh, okay, and then just
Well,
go right
they're-
back out the other one.
Their brains are in their asses, so it could start at that end.
Jesus fucking, I don't have words for the fury. I just fucking don't.
No.
No, there's no justification for this. This is as I said, this is a clusterfuck, right? This it's not snafu, it's not foobar, it's none of those acronyms. This is a flat out fucking clusterfuck. Like the state fucked this guy again and again and again, and you can go all the way back to the lies that started the Iraq War in the first place and sent him there.
And here's the thing.
Absolutely.
For anybody who listens to this, there by the grace of God or whatever you believe in, go you, because this could happen to literally anyone.
Yep.
There are so many laws on the books. It is impossible for the average person to know and avoid breaking every single one of them. You break the law every fucking day and you don't even realize it. All it takes is one cop on a power trip and one judge on a power trip and one DA on a fucking winning streak that doesn't want to break his fucking streak of convictions, and you are screwed.
Yeah,
Yep.
like
You're screwed.
literally, like a cop saying, "I smell marijuana." Like that is literally the lowest legal denominator.
Oh,
Yeah.
when I was being transferred duty stations from Benning to Bragg. On the way, I was pulled over by a cop in Georgia who claimed that he smelled marijuana.
I remember the
And-
story. You told us one before.
I didn't have any pot. I don't smoke pot. All right. I don't do it. I don't like it. It's not my thing. Like, I'll give a shit if anybody else does, but it ain't my thing, man.
And you were in the military at the time?
Yes.
Yeah, so random piss tests, which they're not like other jobs say we do random urinalysis and then they never fucking do it after you get hired. The military has a randomized fucking personnel like listing thing for everybody in the command, and every 30 fucking days they pull like a random 10% of the command and fucking piss test them.
And
And like
was
my
no-
name
I
my
actually have
name
a
came
story to
up
go
like
with this.
6 months in a fucking row in Hawaii. 6 months in a fucking row I got piss tested in Hawaii.
I was in basic fucking training. They piss test me a week earlier as I left the Minneapolis MEPS station.
Mhm.
But while I'm in basic training, they told me, "Oh, you have been pulled and selected for random piss test." Where the hell am I going to get fucking
Yeah.
weed while I'm in basic?
Yeah.
On
Oh,
a
yeah,
phone.
and I-
Seriously.
Fucking, but you get pulled over, and then that's the go-to for cops, especially in the South, is, well, I
Yeah.
smell marijuana. And he's like, well, I smell marijuana. And I'm like, well, then that's
Prove
because
it.
you were smoking it, fat ass.
Fucking prove it.
And he's like,
Prove
what did
to
you call
that
me?
You smelled something.
Yeah, he's like, what did you call me? And I go, dude, I'm pretty sure I didn't fucking stutter. I'm pretty sure I said, then you're the one who was smoking it, comma, fat ass. Throw me in fucking jail. I'm on my way to I beg you to throw me in jail so that I can watch you get fired.
Yeah.
I want that to happen so badly. Please arrest me.
Yeah.
And he fucking did. And I went to jail. And as I was getting booked in, I was like, I'm not even going to be here 6 hours. And they're like,
Yeah.
okay. And I'm like, no, seriously, I won't even be here 6 hours, and you're all going to lose your jobs.
Yeah.
Okay. 6 hours later, I'm getting walked out by a JAG officer who's apologizing and saying, hey, man, I'm really sorry it took me so long to get here. And being assured that Officer Jackfuck is about to lose his fucking job and probably never work in law enforcement again.
Yeah.
I'm also being assured that the one jailer who fucking spit in my face is also about to lose his fucking job and probably face federal charges, which he did, by the way. He actually got a year in prison for it.
Nice.
Yeah, it was fucking beautiful. It was so great though, because I warned everybody, like, dude, you have no idea what you're messing with right now. I'm being actively transferred right now to another station, and you are interfering with the wheels of the federal government because you're back.
You're interfering with federal government fucking property and official business.
Yeah, and I'm like, do
Yeah.
you have any idea what's about to happen to you? Do you have any fucking clue? And they didn't want to listen because that's the mentality of cops in Georgia. That's the mentality of cops in Virginia and South
They
Carolina.
are
Especially,
God,
especially,
and you are
especially
nothing.
small town cops.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
absolutely.
I get to do whatever I want. I got all the power because I
Okay,
managed to
so-
pass third grade. Doo-doo-doo.
I can't read what the computer's telling me that you're guilty of, but
I
You're
need
guilty
somebody
of
to read it to me, but I'm pretty sure that what it says.
Yeah. So back to
Derek
the
is over
article.
there like,
No, I have a bug in my fucking car because I have a light on and I'm smoking, so the window's open.
Yeah, back
Alright.
to the article real quick. Sean was denied treatment by the VA because smoking cannabis for medical purposes, quote, does not meet criteria for a substance use disorder or meet need for a substance abuse treatment.
So he couldn't get the free drug treatment program
He couldn't get the free drug treatment program from the DA because
from the VA. Yeah.
from the VA because cannabis isn't a bad enough substance to need treatment,
Yeah, it's not
but it's enough for a judge to throw him in jail for 5 years.
5 years.
Oh yeah, because that's
not only
that's
that, he's not going to get it from the VA because the VA is the one that gave it to him.
yeah.
Yeah,
They don't.
I mean, the VA is the one that said, "Here, you need this,"
yeah.
and then these backwoods fucking bullshit cops in Alabama are going, "Oh, well, he's got weed, so he's going to jail." Well, no.
And what kind of public defender did he have that they didn't have a representative from the VA in there saying
Yeah, we
this was prescribed to
this,
him
this.
by
Right.
us?
Oh, it wouldn't have mattered though. I mean, Southern courts don't care. Those judges go, "Oh, you had pot. Here's some." I mean, we always used to laugh about Georgia. Like when I was at Benning, we'd laugh about Georgia. Like, Georgia, come on vacation, stay because you're on probation.
Yeah.
Because Georgia wants you to be on probation so that they can bilk more money out of you. That's what they do. Alabama is the same fucking way. They want you to wind up on probation
That's
so
funny
that they
though.
can get as much money as they possibly can from you. And it's
Come for-
constant.
Come for vacation, stay for probation. That's the title of the episode.
But that's constant down there. It's all the time. I ran into so many people when I was locked up for a few hours in Georgia that they were like, oh yeah, I had like a half an ounce of pot or whatever. And they're like doing like 11 months.
Well, I had
Jesus.
one of my best friends lived in, I kid you not, the heart of Atlanta for like 5 to 7 years. And one of his girlfriends ended up going to prison because DFACS, the Department of Family Services, showed up at her house and her boyfriend had just left. And because he had just left, her doorway smelled of marijuana because he sat on her back porch, smoked a joint, and then walked through her house, out the front door, and left. And because the front porch had the tiniest odor of marijuana from her boyfriend, she lost her kids. She went to jail for 2 years and then had 5 years extended supervision. And still
Jesus.
doesn't have her kids back.
Welcome to Georgia. Like, you want to talk about states that are a demonstration of the dangers of absolute unmitigated government worship.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's the
Georgia,
South.
Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, South Carolina. Like, you see that there where they just absolutely just love the government so fucking much.
Kentucky and Tennessee.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Yep.
And it's freaking endless. And then the irony is that the same people who are all like, oh, thank God daddy government is doing something, will also be like, well, we don't need to be giving these people none of them welfares.
Yeah.
Well, you are the ones who depend on government for absolutely everything every single day of your life.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to something a little more fun. I've wanted to bring this one up just for fun because I want to hear Andrew get more legalese. All right,
Uh-oh.
but all right,
Why? Damn it.
because it's fun. All right,
For who?
free
God.
speech, free press, free Molotov cocktails. Firestarter claims First Amendment protection.
Well, it was an act of protest, political protest. It's absolutely covered under the First Amendment.
That's
right.
Maybe he worships fire, and therefore it's religious freedom.
Religious freedom.
It's
Yeah.
just,
There
you
you go.
know.
Yeah. The federal government says it was arson. The protester charged with igniting a Molotov cocktail outside the District of Columbia police station during the recent race riots says it was protected First Amendment speech.
Dude, that is some big dick energy.
That is
Yes,
big
it is.
Right, that is balls, right? Jeremy Pace, on the night he set the fire, he said on Facebook he wanted to, quote, burn a 12 station to the ground. The number 12 is a street slang for police.
Okay, he's got
Right,
my
like-
support.
Like, we've all seen Fuck 12, right?
Oh.
But now Mr. Pace argues in federal district court he was speaking metaphorically, that he actually tossed the firebomb on the street near the 4th District Police Station rather than at it, and that his action was not meant to burn the station, but rather to express solidarity with George Floyd and the protesters in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
You know, the
Well,
funny thing is, if he had an American flag
Yep.
in the center of where he threw that, he could very easily have argued
Yep.
that.
That's what the judge said. Okay. Quote, ranging from inappropriate to deplorable, fire has historically been used as an expression of speech. That is from Eugene Ohm, Mr. Pace's lawyer at the Federal Public Defender's Office, wrote in briefs asking for his release.
yeah. Burning effigies, burning flags.
Yep.
Yep.
Using fire to heat up tar so that you can maybe make people birds.
Yeah.
On Wednesday alone,
More
prosecutors
politicians
announced,
need to be birds again.
On Wednesday alone, prosecutors announced charges against 6 men in New York, all accused of igniting fires aimed at government property in Rochester and Buffalo. Prosecutors in Seattle announced arson charges against a man they say set fire outside a city police precinct there. Mr. Pace was initially charged in Superior Court in the district, but had the case sent to federal court a few days later. Quote, I think it's pretty clear why he's elevated starting a fire on the street block to a federal crime, said John David Beatrice, a lawyer in Ohio who has tracked some of the ongoing legal battles during the protests. Quote, what the Justice Department is saying, you want to protest? Okay, we're going to prosecute you federally.
Yeah, because what they're trying to do is subtly work things into Sedition Act. And if they can get acts of protest to very subtly, through subtle jurisprudence, work its way into having the Sedition Act applied, then at that point they can say that you are literally committing treason, a capital crime, by protesting.
Yep. Okay, authorities say Mr. Pace filled a plastic laundry bottle with gasoline and filmed himself as he approached the station and lit a paper towel fuse stuck into the bottle. But he botched the setup, and the gasoline fumes escaped from the bottle and ignited, burning him and forcing him to drop the firebomb.
Yeah, now look, I'm just going to say, if you're going to concoct a Molotov cocktail, look, you got to do it old school.
Like,
right?
You have the internet.
A glass bottle and a rag, people. A glass bottle and a cloth fucking rag.
You have to use cotton. It's got to be cotton, man.
Rip up
cotton
a
is going to wick. It's not just going to burn all the way. Don't use paper. That's amateur kitty hour shit, man. Like, don't do that. That's stupid. It's got to be cotton.
Brandenburg v. Ohio, 1969.
And you know,
we're just discussing history. We're discussing the history of
improvised weapons. To demonstrate how we're talking about history, you know, the reason that they're called Molotov cocktails is itself intentionally ironic. Because the Soviet foreign minister during the Winter War was named Molotov, hence the Molotov-Ribbentrop Pact, right? So he was named Molotov. So when the Finns started using these gasoline and detergent bombs on Soviet tanks, they called them Mr. Molotov's cocktails because they're in direct response to the actions of Molotov. They're intentionally ironically named.
Right. And they used glass because glass shatters when it hits hard things.
No,
yes. No, the important thing is never use just gasoline because it runs off like liquid. You have to thicken it. Use a thickening agent.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. The reason that napalm is called napalm is it's naphtha and palm oil mixed in with basically jet fuel, and you mix the three of them together and you get a very thick, hot burning agent. That's what you do. And technically, you know, you can order palm oil online and you can get naphtha from your local Walmart. So
hypothetically,
if you were going to make it, I'm sure there's a recipe out there somewhere that you could actually make it and make it work. Not that I would recommend you do that in an uncontrolled way against anything, of course.
Right.
Yeah,
we're talking about science experiments. Everybody's homeschooling right now.
This is the homeschool power hour.
Science experiment.
His lawyers say
it's the study of thermodynamics.
Exactly.
That's right.
His lawyers say he never wanted to burn the building, but intended to light a fire at a distance to express his anger. And that, they say, is allowed under the First Amendment as an expression of solidarity with Black Lives Matter. And Fringe leader Hawk Newsom, who urged supporters to, quote, burn down this system and replace it.
Allowed, I hate that. Allowed under the First Amendment. Look, I don't give a fuck about papers and ink anyways, but if we're talking about this historical document, the only thing that is not allowed under the First Amendment is government fucking with the First Amendment. That is the only thing it disallows.
Yeah. It's remember that most of the Bill of Rights is aimed at restricting government, not people.
Yes. Right. Quote, while the words may make some uncomfortable, Fire and burning are words that have become synonymous with a demand for systematic change in police practices.
Right.
So this is a ballsy argument, and I really like it.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah. I mean, and
Absolutely.
and the funny thing is that his lawyer, who's arguing this, has a lot of actual like historical jurisprudence to pull from.
Yeah, he's using
to
the right
demonstrate
words
his
too.
point. I mean, the colonists even they burned things in effigy. They built big bonfires in Ireland. Bonfires have been a very big thing for political speech, especially for the fucking oranges. The whole ideas of building fires and burning things and what that is political speech and has always been to a certain extent, at least since the 18th century and probably back, actively a thing. I mean,
fire has
that's
always been it's always been conflated with anger, with rage. So there's a real like connection to human emotions with fire. Fire's like the perfect expression of rage, and it's been that way for millennia.
During the
millennia.
Chinese invasion of Tibet, the Tibetan monks set themselves on fire, self-immolation, in the middle of the streets in protest. Right? I don't really know how that furthers your cause, but okay.
Well, we're still talking about it today, aren't we?
Well, I mean, we are, but
I literally only know about it because of the cover of the Rage Against the Machine album.
Rage Against the Machine's self-titled first album, 1992.
Seriously, that's the only reason I learned about it. Okay. There's a response here. There's a response here from the U.S. Attorney, Assistant U.S. Attorney. He says, more obviously, one need not fashion a bomb by stuffing a wick into a 1-gallon container of gasoline in order to create a, quote, small fire.
Doesn't matter what I need.
Yeah. No. It's also argued said that the free speech defense will be a tough sell since the government is arguing that the fire itself is a violation of the law regardless of damage or intent.
That's actually an impossible.
It's an act of protest
from that.
Yeah.
If you say it's an act of if it's an act of protest, and you go, well, just setting a fire is itself. Okay, well, but what if I set a fire on a flag? What if I set a fire on an effigy?
Setting a flag on fire is protected.
Clearly.
And how do you make a chemical reaction illegal?
Well, they're making
they do it all the time.
The act of causing a chemical reaction to occur illegal. The chemical reaction itself is perfectly legal up until this jackass DA decided to open his fat mouth, and now he's trying to say that the chemical reaction itself is illegal, which is absurd in every possible sense.
Yeah.
I mean, the problem is that what you're trying to argue here is the fire itself was not intended to actually cause any real damage. It was intended to make known dissatisfaction and anger, and as sort of a threat vis-a-vis the founding fathers. That this could, things could escalate from here, and that's their argument. And I mean, even in front of a Supreme Court, given the current Supreme Court, I don't know what direction that would go, to be honest. It might actually go to him, especially if the government keeps being stupid.
If it reaches before Ginsburg goes, I think there's a chance that it would go his way.
But before Ginsburg, I'd say 50-50.
You mean if Ginsburg goes? At this point, I'm not convinced that she will ever actually.
She's literally fucking Betty White. She's literally Betty White at this point.
I'm not convinced she's currently still fucking alive.
I think
she's a goddamn hologram.
She's an animatronic corpse.
Yeah, it's fucking Weekend at the.
They called Disney and said, "Hey, how do you make her move?"
Weekend at Ruthie's.
she's Tupac in it, yeah.
Yeah,
All
it's
right.
it's
All right.
fucking ridiculous. Like Ruth Bader Ginsburg has been around
Fucking weekend at
forever.
Ruthie's.
And
Weekend at Ruthie's.
We need a meme series, a weekend at Ruthie's meme series.
All
there
right.
was Babylon B
Get
did
on
an
it,
article.
get on it, memers.
Yeah, Babylon B did an article a little while ago about like a puppeteer running Ruth Bader Ginsburg at a hearing.
Yeah.
And, it's just
Doesn't she have like
Are they
cancer again
wrong?
now or something? I
Yeah,
don't know.
something like that. All right.
who fucking knows?
She's like what, 90?
Who knows?
Well-
I don't care.
Dude, when I'm 90, the
Yeah.
last thing I'm gonna fucking want is sitting on the Supreme Court listening to people fucking argue all day.
No shit.
She's got to be to the point where people make arguments and she's just like, "We thins, we thins."
Yeah,
Ruth,
but like
Ruth, you're in court.
that's a serious authoritarian like God complex
Oh yeah, absolutely.
that
Yeah.
keeps you in that fucking SCOTUS chair at 90 years old.
And
Yep.
it's just like,
All right.
Ruth, you're
She
with
sits
us.
here all-
Focus,
all day
please.
long. She
Focus.
takes a nap, wakes up, drinks her insurance, listens
Yeah,
to
just
the statement,
like,
takes a nap,
turn
wakes
that
up.
music down, Ruth. There's no music. You're in court. It's literally just.
That's
Oh,
witness
what?
testimony.
Oh, I knew that. Guilty. No, that
I
isn't
wasn't.
this
I
kind of
wasn't
trial.
sleeping. I was resting my eyes. All right.
Oh, innocent. No, that also is this kind of trial. I don't.
All right. Now we have to do a peak Anarchy Among Friends article. 'Cause
Okay.
This is what we do, right?
Yep.
Strip
I don't even know
clubs.
what it is yet, but yeah.
That's
Oh, yep,
good.
yep.
Strip
Yes,
clubs
it
now,
is.
now offering a more teasing experience with social distancing and face masks. This is this is out of Chicago, and it says
You're
when
rubbing your
the
face in my face, but
yeah.
thank God your face is covered.
yeah when the ad when
If
the
you
ad
weren't always social distancing at strip clubs, you deserve to get the fucking Rona.
hold on. This is a nice this. Somebody's gonna hurt themselves laughing at this one. All right. Strictly speaking, the women won't be quote totally nude. They'll have a flimsy piece of material draped across their faces.
That is.
Sam
All I
Cisello,
can think of is a thong. Like she takes her
Yeah.
thong off and just puts it over her
yeah,
face.
Sam Cisello, the venue's owner for the last 31 years, isn't overly concerned. Quote, the mask only covers her face, and many of the guests might not be looking at her face.
It's okay to go
Bingo.
bathe in
I don't
all
think
the
they
other
care about the
bodily
lips you're
fluids
covering,
that are
seriously,
smeared
yeah.
all
Yeah,
over those
hold on.
places.
Yeah,
Hold on.
But
exactly.
it's not
Hold
okay
on.
for her
Like,
fucking mouth to be exposed.
Hold
I
on.
wouldn't want you to
Wait,
something gross like
Yeah.
your mouth on you.
Right.
And one shouldn't overlook the ability of the human mind to, quote, fill in the blank with perfection, he said.
It's about to fill in
It's
the
a
blank.
fucking strip
Fill
club.
in the blank.
People literally go there so they don't have to fill in the fucking blank.
What is the
Hold on.
point? If I
Hold on.
wanted to have to fill in the blank, I'm just going to the beach during spring break. All right, I'm not going to a strip club and paying someone
Hold on.
money.
A
I'll
visit,
fill in
a
her
visit to the
blanks.
a visit to the
she
strip
said.
club. A visit to the strip club has always been something of an illusionary experience. Even more so now with coronavirus restrictions in place. Under Illinois' phase 4 of the reopening, which began in late June. Andrew's dying over there, you guys.
I have a mental image. I have a mental image in my head of like one of those women from like a harem with the like kind of translucent like dangly bit mask and just like
That's
taking
it.
off her
And
clothes.
that's it, yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's just like, and they're just like, see, it's okay. Her face is covered.
Of all the juices and human excretions you can get on yourself at a strip club, thank God they're wearing masks.
Yeah.
At least it's not saliva.
Yeah.
Yeah. A visit to a strip club has always been something of an illusionary experience, even more so now with the coronavirus restrictions in place. Under Illinois' phase 4 of the reopening, which began in late June, dancers and customers must remain 6 feet apart at all times. This means private dances. Yeah, this means private dances, as Cosella calls them, will be a lot less private. Quote, in the next couple of days, we've got girls coming in, Cosella said. Quote, we're going to do a dry run with some of the employees acting as customers to see how we can entertain people and still stay safe.
Derek snorted.
Fucking a dry run.
That is a Dirica snort on the air.
I think it was
That
like
was
a double too. I think that was a double.
That was double.
Fucking dry run. We're gonna do a dry hump. I mean dry run.
We're gonna do a dry run with some of
And
the
what does a
employees.
wet run look like?
You gotta pay extra for that. It's technically not that.
That's a 3. That's 3.
That is negotiated within the champagne room, and whatever happens.
Oh my god, I'm gonna
Former
fucking
And
pee.
the customer.
All right, we're gonna do a dry run with some of the employees acting as
Don't fucking say it again.
to see how we can entertain people and still stay safe.
You just did.
But if you're not getting an actual lap dance, shouldn't you get a discount? Quote, a discount? Absolutely not, Cosella said. We're having a hard time persuading entertainers to come back to work wearing these masks and face shields and things like that.
Oh, that's great dry run.
Everybody's having a hard
hold on,
time
wait.
with the dry
Just-
run.
Just wait. In any, hold on.
Generally, that provides chafing.
Oh my god, my stomach hurts.
I'm trying so hard to maintain here. Okay. In any case, many customers come to the Admiral for the conversation, he said.
I'm sure.
Yeah, sure.
Quote,
Yeah.
older good people like myself, maybe they want to talk to a young girl because they haven't talked to a young girl in a social way in like 20 years. It's almost like a psychologist visit.
Then you
Those
can't talk to
noted-
her without her with her clothes on, or
Those noted intellectuals who take their clothes off for money.
yeah.
I know.
That must be very stimulating conversation.
I also purely go to strip clubs so that I can have in-depth political discourse with the people named.
Political, yeah.
Ugh.
Oh,
Yes, have you read the peer-reviewed paper from Sparkle and Lemon? And
the dissenting opinion from Cinnamon. Don't forget that one.
oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Cinnamon contributed to that. So.
Yeah.
that was an important. Yeah,
Yeah. Fucking dry
I
run.
think I read that in Nature.
Having a hard time.
Just
Oh.
all right. Coachella said they plan to bring 40 of his 100 or so dancers, at least at first. Heavenly Bodies in Elk Grove Village has been open for about 2 weeks, even though the venue depends to a large extent on customers arriving from nearby O'Hare Airport. Demand remains strong, says Gigi Gale, Heavenly Bodies public relations manager.
Oh, I am certain that intellectual conversation is to be had from strippers at a strip club near the airport.
Oh,
Yeah.
That is definitely why people go there.
Hey, I've been to a couple of strip clubs near airports, and it's like a Mensa fucking meeting in there. I can tell you.
It is amazing. I mean, we talk astrophysics and
Yeah, string theory and shit.
I'm sure it is G-string theory, but
yeah, you know, my first wife worked at a similar store. I mean, she was a genius. Let me tell you.
Oh yeah, you've told us.
Yeah. Everyone inside the venue must wear a mask, and temperatures are taken at the door. But the thing that makes business a
I should
challenge,
take temperatures on the way out the door too.
but the thing that makes business a challenge is the 25% capacity rule. Quote, there are nights when we have a line outside and we have to wait for other customers to leave. And then you have to do a rotation of having them leave every 2 hours. She said, adding that most customers are people who have been coming to the venue for years. As for the masks, quote, there's kind of an allure to that. Sometimes it's a little sexy or a little kinky to not directly have to look at someone's face.
I don't think anyone ever goes to a strip club to look at a stripper's
Yeah,
face.
honey, nobody was fucking looking at your face anyways.
It could literally be just blank. Just
Yeah.
completely blank.
you could be
Yeah.
in Detroit
There's-
with a paper bag over your head, and
There's a reason the lights stay low. Just, I'm putting that out.
Yeah. Mhm.
Yep.
No word on a dry run at GG's.
They're like, they went straight to the wet run.
Aren't most private dances at strip clubs kind of dry runs? I'm just saying.
Yeah.
So they're usually dry runs. You got to pay extra for anything
The
else.
wet run.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
or wind
How are
up
you gonna-
marrying them.
That's because your wallet stays dry.
Ah. Oh.
All right, so yeah, we covered the strippers.
My fucking stomach hurts. Yeah.
Actually, the strippers are
Yeah.
covering themselves.
They covered
Only a
the
little bit.
strippers. We covered the strippers.
I mean, like, and him, like, oh, well, some people, there's an allure. Like, what are they, all Mia Khalifa fans? Is that what's going on right now? Like, you're just...
I think half of like the people that are so rabid about face masks, I think they fetishized it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's clearly gone beyond rational to, like,
Oh yeah.
sexual attraction. Like, oh,
Yeah.
boy, your diminished ability to breathe is so sexy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like their
you can feel
virtue
that
signaling is like those, on planet Earth, the birds that like hop around and flap their wings and try to attract a mate. That's what it looks like to me.
Is that
Yeah,
a thermometer in your
I
pants,
can't
or are you
help-
just happy to see me?
Well, all I can think of is, like, well, they're
Baby,
checking
that's a
the
bottle
else's-
of hand sanitizer. Oh, yeah.
All I
It's
can think
it's
of
rectal.
is, yeah, everybody else is getting their temperatures checked. Can I check the strippers' temperatures?
There's a rap song that came out like 2 months ago. I don't remember, but I don't remember who sang it, but there was a line, and he said, "I already told the old lady that if we're doing it, we're using hand sanitizer as a lubricant."
Oh
I would
no, we're fucking not.
No.
We're not doing it if you try that shit.
Don't
like a
don't
workout.
keep shit
Feel the
lyrical.
burn.
Dude, that's yeah, sorry. As a
Alcohol
woman, I
plus
can't find that amusing because that shit will wreck your vag, ladies. Do not use hand sanitizer as lube.
Yeah, again,
Please.
alcohol plus
Hand sanitizer.
glycerin.
back
Yeah.
in Vegas.
What's that?
The whole hand sanitizer wrestling in Vegas.
Oh yeah, no, that made me cringe.
I remember.
Yeah.
If it's moisturizing, I mean,
Right.
No.
vitamin E in it.
It's also like 95% rubbing alcohol. No.
Yeah,
Oh, it's
and
not
gonna,
that high.
and it's gonna kill your entire necessary microbiome.
This one's only
So-
63% alcohol.
Yeah. Don't fuck with your microbiome, ladies. That shit is important to keep balanced.
Yeah, you need, much like a brewer, you need that yeast to stay.
Not just
That-
the yeast. You need
that-
the bacteria that keeps the yeast in check, and the yeast keeps the bacteria in check, and both are absolutely critical for the
Yeah.
health of your vag.
Yep. Use hand sani as a lubricant, and you're talking about a whole different dry run.
Oh,
Yes.
oh no. And
Yeah.
and remember that alcohol it tends to repel water and cause oh no. Oh.
It's chafing.
So much pain.
And
So
burning,
much
because that
pain.
shit's gonna get in your urethra, because it just will. So
God, I didn't even think about that going down the hole. That would.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
All right. Unidentified federal agents in camo and rented minivans are grabbing people off.
Speaking
Portland
of dry runs,
That's another Derica snort. That's, right.
yeah, little one.
That's what she said.
this has to be done. And just
This
Using
is
hand sanitizer as lube is a fucking sex crime.
I'm pretty sure the SVU has investigated that a couple of times now.
Probably.
Okay, this is from The Week. It's President Trump has an unknown number of federal agents to Portland, Oregon, ostensibly to protect federal property amid weeks of protest against racism and police brutality. But federal officers, quote, are also detaining people on Portland streets who aren't near federal property, nor is it clear that all of the people being arrested are engaged in criminal activity. That is from OPB, which I assume is the Oregon Public Broadcasting.
Yes.
One civil rights lawyer, Juan Chavez, described the federal tactics as, quote, like stop and frisk meets Guantanamo Bay, and that they're more like an abduction than lawful arrest.
Well,
Yeah, where have we heard about stuff like this before?
Andrew just did a whole podcast about it.
Yeah.
This
seems awfully
Matt
familiar.
from the Status Quo.
Yeah.
I
I
like
assure
I've
you
heard
that
about
this we have no idea what you could be talking about. This is completely normal. Everything is okay. Yeah.
I know nothing, comrade.
Yeah, and also
Yeah.
no, only the counter-revolutionary elements. It has nothing to do with the innocent people. It is all okay. Everything is fine. Relax.
Yeah.
Quote, federal law enforcement officers have been using unmarked vehicles to drive around downtown Portland and detain protesters since at least July 14th. So that's, what, a week now? Quote, personal accounts and multiple videos posted online show the officers driving up to people, detaining individuals with no explanation of what or why they are being arrested and driving off.
So, quick, are they identifying themselves prior to hauling people into vans?
Not that I've seen.
Doesn't sound like
from
it.
the videos I've seen, it's just the guy's walking down the street, the car pulls up, one guy runs up behind him, shoves him in, and they drive off.
Which means, under federal law, if you were to, say, shoot every single one of them in the throat...
That was along my line of thinking.
Hypothetically.
That means...
I've seen
not even... seriously, I'm telling you, because legally it's allowed.
Yes.
Because they are not identifying themselves, you have every reason to believe that you are being kidnapped by a violent element. Therefore,
and aren't they in like fucking jeans and t-shirts or something?
No,
like
no,
they're
full camo and kit.
Oh, they are. Oh.
Yeah, fully tacked out. But on that note, on the tactical note, I've
seen enough Die Hard movies to know that can be bad guys too, and
it doesn't say this in this article, right? So this is unsubstantiated, but I've seen other articles that say that they are what they call BORTAC, BORTAC, which is the Border Patrol Tactical Enforcement Team.
Yeah,
they're the SWAT team for the Border Patrol.
I've seen that. I've also seen U.S. Marshals.
And Portland does fall within 100 miles of the coast, so it is technically within the border exclusion zone.
Yes. I know that BORTAC tends to recruit from certain elements. There are
certain elements that you may have worked with.
There are guys that I know that work with them, and they are not
allegedly.
Yes, that I may or may not have worked with, that I may or may not know. I can neither confirm nor deny that are now working for them, and they are not pleasant people. And
no, they. Acting Homeland Security Chief Acting Homeland Security Secretary Chad Wolf visited Portland on Thursday and slammed the mayor and governor, claiming that, quote, Portland has been under siege for 47 straight days by a violent mob, while local political leaders refuse to restore order to protect the city. He released a list of the, quote, lawless destruction and violence from these violent anarchists, and most of it was graffiti.
Bullshit. Can we all 1, 2, 3? Bullshit.
Yeah. Trump praised the federal incursion Monday, saying, quote, Portland was totally out of control, and that federal agents, quote, very much quelled it. Federal agent shot one 26-year-old man in the head with less lethal ammunition last Friday, fracturing his skull.
I just did
marinate
on that for a second. The president just said it's okay that we're kidnapping people with this mysterious military arm because it was out of control and it just needed to be stopped, and everyone is expected to just go along with it.
Yeah, that's what you and I talked about in our Telegram chat. Like, this literally could have been brought up last week on the Status Quo podcast with Matt that you did, where you guys talked about the similarities leading up to the Weimar Republic. That would be the Nazis for those not paying attention at home.
Well,
And the current U.S. government and the direction of the current U.S. where it's heading.
Yeah,
The similarities are scary.
The Weimar Republic
fucking
was
terrifying.
The Weimar Republic, for anybody who doesn't know, is like the pre-Nazi political paradigm in Germany during the rise of the Third Reich.
Yeah,
it's one of the contributing factors to the rise of the Third Reich.
Sort of. I mean, the Weimar is the result of the weird political limbo that Germany found itself in
after World War I.
When the emperor abdicated as a result of World War I, and suddenly no one really knew what kind of a government they were going to have, and they all kind of get together, and there's a bunch of extreme elements. They all get together in Weimar, Germany, and have this discussion and decide on this thing, and that's the Weimar Republic. And it's garbage, and it doesn't.
And they
work.
had all this fucking war debt from sanctions, and so they hiked up their fucking inflation rate, and their money was worth nothing. So people were fucking starving, and there was a lot of discontent and like social unrest. And it was like a perfect storm for something like the Nazi Party to rise.
There's photos of workers getting their day's pay in wheelbarrows at lunchtime because the prices would change between lunch and when they got off.
Oh, not even just that. There's
there's wives and relatives and whatnot would come and get this wheelbarrow full of cash to go to the store and buy what they could. And it got so useless that it was cheaper to burn the money than to buy firewood.
Oh yeah, I bring it up on Venezuela. The podcast, and
the U.S. government is going to have a $6 trillion deficit this year alone, you guys.
Yeah, and if you haven't listened to that podcast, seriously go listen to it. Not just because I'm on it, but because I really go in depth, really hard.
I am such a fan of what Matt does. The Status Quo podcast is a tremendous listen.
Yeah, it's very, very good, and we go the two of us go super in depth on this and break it down from a historical aspect and go into details, and there's direct quotes from direct source material. I use almost no second-hand material as I go through it. It is all original source material. I give you fucking page numbers for things from like Mein Kampf and stuff. So I go in depth on it. But like it's important to remember that there was even a debate within the international economist community at the time as to whether or not all of the extra printing of money was leading to inflation. I'm so not kidding you.
So all right, let's go into the other aspect of this that
I can't even fucking wrap my head around that.
I know, I couldn't either when I read it. And like I went back and I read original like articles and things from the time from economists because I'm like, there's no way that's right that they didn't know. No, there was really a serious debate over whether or not printing extra money actually devalued the existing money.
Oh my god. All right.
Okay. Look, we've lost track of this article. So let's back up a second.
That never happens.
No, because we're professionals. Let's get back to this article and the idea that is floating around that we have seen literally all over the fucking internet with the conservatives, the neocons, the Republicans, even the moderates. I've seen it from fucking Boogaloo boys. I've seen it from fucking quote anarchists and libertarians that this is okay because these people are allegedly commies.
No.
First they came for the communists, and I didn't care because I wasn't a communist.
Because I fucking hate communists.
Yeah.
Literally.
Then they came.
Like that was literally my point. I was discussing it earlier in another Telegram chat with some friends, and I said people have become so anti-X that they'll support the government being tyrannical as fuck to X, without a hint of awareness that the government just set the precedence for doing the same to them too.
Yep.
Right?
Absolutely.
And let's not
Whatever you
forget,
authorize the
Yeah.
government to do to your enemies, they will turn around and do to you too.
let's not forget that back in like 2013, 14, there was this list that came out that was leaked from DHS that was so-called threats, right? And on this list, or potential terrorists, that's what they called it. On this list of potential terrorists were like gun owners and preppers
And
returning-
veterans.
veterans,
Yeah, veterans who
anybody
were
that
unhappy
touted-
with the government.
yeah, anybody that touted the Constitution or believed in the Second Amendment, anybody that exposed the vestiges of freedom and liberty and all this other stuff, like 72 characteristics, like that were literally all conservative and anarchist talking points.
Mhm.
Like this was listed as potential terrorists under DHS guidelines.
But now
Yeah.
miraculously, because but it's just the communists, they've forgotten that they are also labeled
Yes.
terrorists.
It's like
And
it's
it
like
doesn't
they,
even
it's
matter
like they
because-
didn't just go through 8 years of Barack Obama,
Right.
3.5 years of Trump, and everybody's like, "Oh yeah, okay, it's okay now."
And
Yeah.
and that's the thing, is they all look at it that way because it's their guy.
Yeah.
Fuck
Oh, yeah.
that.
It's always
Yeah.
it's my team that's in charge. And because it's
Right.
my team that's in charge, it's okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
But the second the other team is in charge and it's like, oh, well, this isn't good.
Actually,
Yeah.
fun fact, that brings up something that I didn't get a chance
It's like
to
they
bring up.
forget that any other team ever will be in charge.
Yeah,
Right.
and that's something that I didn't get to bring up on Matt's podcast. That what you need to remember is that the vast majority of the laws that allowed Hitler to do what he did, the Nazi Party had absolutely nothing to do with. They
Right.
all existed from the
Before.
Weimar Republic. He just used them. In fact, the biggest single thing that gave Hitler his power, right, the Reichstag Fire Declaration, was only possible because making a declaration like that was authorized by laws passed under the Weimar Republic.
Mhm.
Mhm. Yeah.
All of the tools that you try to use tyrannically against your opponent today will turn into the bludgeons used to beat you into submission tomorrow.
Yes. Yes. And that is our whole beef with government and with fucking laws and with cops and all of this, is that it is an indiscriminate fucking violator. You are cheering that it is violating people you dislike right now, but it will fucking violate you. It violates you every day, and it will violate you again.
Yeah,
It is
everybody.
fucking discriminate.
So many people have this idea that like it's okay, like they support government because they're like, well, as long as we get the right. You're literally gambling. You are gambling every day that the right people stay in power and in charge, so that they don't misuse all of this power.
Yeah, and
But
I,
what
If you have
history-
a tool that is so fucking dangerous that only a handful of people can handle it fucking properly, like other people can't learn, they have to be the exact right fucking person or it's disaster. That's the tool that government is. It's like I wouldn't have a tool like that around my house that like anybody couldn't learn how to use and use safely.
look, it's
Right.
I've also seen the argument floating around, especially from anarchists, that the enemy of my enemy is my friend.
Bullshit.
The enemy of my enemy is still my fucking enemy.
That was my argument also.
Well, and the guy who fucking said that was like murdered by his own people, some Arabic
Well,
prince or
Yep,
whatever,
yep,
right?
And remember Sun Tzu in Art of War, which is I think is a book that arguably absolutely everyone should always read because it is
Everybody should fucking
fantastic.
read The Art of War.
Uh,
Everybody.
It is fantastic. I mean, with it, know your enemy. If you know your enemy and yourself, then you need not fear the results of 1,000 battles. If you know yourself but not your enemy, for every victory you'll suffer defeat. Blah blah. Anyway, so Sun Tzu wrote that the enemy of my enemy may make a good ally for now, but I must never turn my back on him.
Yes.
Yep.
Because all it takes is that one moment, and then he's got a knife in his hand and he's stabbing you.
Yep.
Right.
So
Don't forget
we're,
that.
we're all in agreement that this fucking sucks, and we should support it, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
All right. Which brings us to the next article. Boogaloo on the loose. Experts warn Congress about extremism on the right.
The right. Technically,
Now,
I
listen.
mean,
I may or may not know a thing or two about how the intelligence community functions. I can't confirm or deny any of
may
that.
or may not.
But I hear on the street that literally the only kind of domestic terrorism that intelligence agencies give the slightest fuck about is white supremacy.
Yes.
Like they
absolutely.
don't watch anybody else. White
Yep.
supremacy is the boogeyman in the fucking closet that they are
Mhm.
always watching for.
Because
Now, Derica, I may or may not be in that same boat,
hmm
and I may or may not have had a recent conversation with an individual
hmm
who says that the primary boogeyman in the room is the white supremacy, and
Always.
they will chain in their reports anybody that they
Yep.
can to that
Mhm.
wagon in an
Yep.
effort to paint them in as bad a light as humanly possible.
Because that's how they are currently justifying their fucking jobs.
You got
Yep.
it.
yeah,
Yep. So
and it's just I'm not even gonna may or may not on this. No, I'm just gonna nope. We're just gonna leave it at yep. You guys are right.
yep.
We're
All
gonna
right.
go with that.
Yeah.
Authorities who study extremism told Congress. So they're testifying before Congress about this, you guys. Right? I mean, if this doesn't set it up for reaction from the government, all right. Authorities who study extremism told Congress Thursday that far-right groups, not the radicals of Antifa, currently pose the most serious threat to political violence in America, including attacks on police.
So
I just-
hang on. From one perspective, Antifa and Black Lives Matter are doing all this fucking damage and all these riots and everything,
Mhm.
and they're still not as afraid of you as they are of American fucking gun owners.
Yeah, I was gonna
Yep.
say that. So what they're literally saying is that the threat is not the people who are actively burning police departments to the ground. No.
It's the biggest
the guy
threat. It's the
sharing
potential.
the memes on
Yep.
Facebook.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Quote, the facts are right now that right-wing extremism is a bigger problem. That's where the violence is coming from,
What?
said Heidi
What?
Bierich, the recent co-founder of the Global Project Against Hate and Extremism and former director of the Southern Poverty Law Center's Intelligence
Oh,
Project,
that fucking explains
where
it.
she spent the past 2 decades
Ugh.
tracking and reporting on far-right extremism activity
Yeah.
in the U.S.
So anything right of fucking extreme left
Yeah.
is right-wing
And it's literally-
extremism
literally,
to this
and it's
chick.
not literally anything right of socialist. Yes.
Mhm.
Oh, not even just socialist, full on Marxism. I mean,
Yeah.
Right.
the Southern
Yeah.
Poverty Law
Poverty-
full on Marxist and unapologetically so.
Yeah.
It gets-
Anything that isn't
gets better.
Marxism is right. Even if it's still socialism, but just not Marxism, still right.
Mhm.
Yep.
It gets
Which
better.
is how they get their definition of fascism.
Yeah.
That's why I detest the word extremism. Because extreme according to fucking whom? That is so subjective.
All right. Burek was called to testify Thursday as part of the virtual hearing on the House Homeland Security Subcommittee on Intelligence and Counterterrorism, along with
This is the point at which I recuse myself from the conversation, and I can't speak about this topic anymore.
Yeah.
So when you guys are done,
Jesus, this is fucking dangerous.
Along
This is
with-
so fucking dangerous, and I don't think people realize
No,
just how
they-
fucking dangerous
No,
this is.
nobody realizes.
don't.
Nobody, because nobody's paying attention.
Oh my god.
Well, not only
Oh,
that,
Yeah.
no.
they're not. It's not just that they're not paying attention. It's most of them are so heavily influenced by the Kool-Aid that they've been fed their entire fucking lives.
They're fucking
They don't
mainlining
care.
it at this
These are
point.
so the people who are hearing this are the people who are shot callers for some very, very dangerous people. And go ahead and just, you know what? I'm gonna paint a target on my just Google the word Viper real quick. Just Google that. You'll find it.
Don't drone Andrew Bros.
Don't drone me, bro.
So, yeah,
They
Burek
might now.
was called to testify, right? So they sought her out. Called to testify Thursday as part of the virtual hearing of the House Homeland Security Subcommittee on Intelligence and Counterterrorism, along with J.J. McNabb, a fellow George Washington University program on extremism, and John Donahue, the former chief strategic of the New York Police Department and a fellow at Rutgers University's Miller Center for the Community Protection and Resilience.
I've heard of McNabb before, and nothing I've heard is good.
No.
Let's just put it
Hold on.
there.
The
Same boat.
Yeah, the subject of the hearing, led by subcommittee chairman Max Rose, Democrat out of New York, was, quote, assessing the threat of accelerationist and militia extremists, such as members of the so-called Boogaloo movement, which have recently become the subject of increased national interest following the arrest of several alleged Boogaloo members on charges mostly related to violent actions or plots relating to the Black Lives Matter protest. Among them was an active duty Air Force sergeant arrested in May and charged with fatally shooting 2 law enforcement agents in California, including 1 federal security officer, and injuring 2 others. Hold on. Rose made the point, declaring at the top of the hearing that, quote, this isn't about politics today.
What?
Yeah, hold on. If there's
We call it
something,
the
There's
Southern
nothing-
Poverty Law Center, but
There's
it's not about
nothing
politics.
It's not
more about politics today.
yeah, and
Oh.
this quote right,
Mhm.
this is the kicker paragraph right here. This is the one where Andrew's going to have a hissy and quote, if there's something happening anywhere on the political spectrum that involves violence, upending society, threatening institutions, we got to look at it. It is incredibly irrelevant to me which groups we look at, so long as we are looking at the principal ones that threaten people's lives.
How about you look in the fucking mirror?
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
like maybe I don't know the people who are rioting and breaking into stores and setting fire to apartment buildings and but I mean, no, not them. No. It's
Well, I
the-
like Christopher's point too. Look in the fucking mirror.
yeah.
If you want to see a fucking terrorist organization that threatens people's lives with violence daily, look in the fucking mirror.
And you want to talk about threatening people's lives? Like I know the committee that we're talking about. I know the people whose shots they call, and the fact that they
don't
might be,
those people don't play defense.
No.
the fact that they might be looking at us is actually scary.
Mhm.
Well, at this point, it's not even a might. I mean, they've already come right out and said they're looking at us as a movement. Hell, they probably have somebody who's going to watch this show tomorrow morning and go,
Oh,
all
they
right,
don't
that
have
one,
to watch.
one?
They don't have to watch it because of the word farming program. The
Yeah,
word
they
word
know.
Boogaloo will come up and it'll be filed.
Let's
I
just
haven't even
Boogaloo,
gotten into
bomb,
that
president,
stuff,
White
I
House.
don't even share any of that stuff, but I'm gonna be fucking guilty because I associate with you rebels.
You're a
The
former
funny thing is
naval intelligence officer. You're already on the list, Babs.
Well, I wasn't
always-
intelligence. I was cryptology. Kevin was intelligence. But
I always warn
sorry.
Lindsay.
Your husband is intelligence. Excuse me.
I always warn
I didn't
Lindsay,
say that.
like
Your kids
The-
have files.
the
Yeah.
guys,
Yeah.
the guys that come to kill me are going to be guys that I worked with.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
what's
I'm no
gonna happen.
stranger to
I'm gonna
being
know them.
heavily fucking investigated by
Yeah.
the federal
Yeah.
government.
At Thursday's hearing, Republican Representative Mark Walker, the ranking member of the Subcommittee on Intelligence and Counterterrorism, insisted that Antifa is not, quote, just a conservative talking point and should be reviewed along with other violent extremists, including those with ties to white supremacy, anti-government
He's
militias,
still-
and
Yep.
far-right accelerationist movements such as the Boogaloo.
Dude, it's a fucking meme, for God's sake.
We are now an accelerationist movement.
And I was saying the other day in a conversation, I was like, why are they picking on the Boogaloo memes and things like that?
Okay,
Because it's
it
not.
gets-
No. Listen for just 1 second, because it's not like insurrection or sedition. The Boogaloo is like a bunch of fucking dudes who love their guns and are sitting around waiting for shit to kick off because of other people's fucking actions.
Hold on.
And then they'll fucking join in. They're not planning a fucking civil war, for Christ's sake. They're just sitting around waiting for one to spontaneously happen.
Yeah, just wait. Just there's
Yeah.
two paragraphs here. Okay. However, a growing body of evidence, including intelligence reports, leaked law enforcement documents, as well as a number of indictments filed by Barr's own Justice Department, has revealed significant threats against police and protesters by followers of the far-right accelerationists and anti-government militia movements, including the Boogaloo. There have been little evidence of similarly coordinated effects by groups associated with Antifa. In a written testimony, McNabb
Antifa's not
addressed...
good at fucking
Hold on.
organizing shit.
Hold on. In her written testimony, McNabb addressed recent efforts to paint Antifa as a fictional enemy. Quote, known for confronting racist and right-wing militant groups at protests, causing property damage and engaging in street violence, the various subgroups that make up Antifa are not without fault. They are not, however, the hyper-violent army that anti-government extremists make them out to be.
What?
Huh?
That is...
I literally had a friend in St. Louis who was in the hospital for 2 weeks because he got beaten by an Antifa lunatic.
Yeah.
But they're not violent at all.
Well, yeah.
They've
McNabb,
only like torched things and
Yeah.
beaten people. And
Yeah.
McNabb acknowledged that, quote, in the last 2 months, there has been a noticeable rise in the left-wing private paramilitary groups. However, while the right-wing, left-wing labels may not be as clear as they once were, the overwhelming majority of anti-government extremists are still right-wing.
How are they?
But this is a
if you're on
this is a nonpartisan discussion from a Homeland Security Subcommittee on Intelligence and Terrorism.
And they said it's not political. It's not about politics.
But yet, so here's my biggest issue with that argument right there is, if you are anti-government, doesn't that really make you the whole argument null and void? Because if you're anti-government, it doesn't matter where your personal beliefs are on the political spectrum.
Just wait.
Because the government relies on the goddamn spectrum.
Hold on. Quote, both movements want to tear the nation apart to accelerate the downfall of society so they can rebuild it to fit their idea of utopia. But they have different versions of what that utopia entails.
When in the course of
Acceleration.
human events, it
Yes.
becomes necessary for one people to
Hold on.
dissolve
Wait, okay, wait, one more.
Acceleration.
One more.
No, I want to point out though, acceleration implies
that it's already
linguistically
happening.
that it is occurring.
Yeah.
Right.
as if it's not happening organically through the actions of government itself.
The government's like the little kid pushing out at the sides of the slide with his arms and legs, trying to fucking slow down as he plummets to the bottom.
Gravity's
Hold
still
on.
just
You
pulling
can't
away,
even give
but
the government that amount of credit right
Yeah.
now, because look at the $6 trillion
This
money
year,
that-
this year alone,
pissed away.
the government spent what is it like, $826 billion in the month of June alone.
billion.
So, all right.
Jesus.
All right. During the hearing Thursday, McNabb said that, quote, most Boogaloo members are libertarian anarchists who hate cops.
Well, that's an oxymoron right there.
Guns are the common denominator in most anti-government extremist groups.
None of them
Racism-
know what the
ra-
word anarchist means.
Racism is not.
I actually, to that point, I actually had a conversation the other day with a current county sheriff's deputy out of Iowa. It was a really interesting conversation. It was a lot of fun to have because he straight up said, I had no idea what you guys actually believed because what we hear is just bits and pieces and it's all doom and gloom and we don't actually have any idea. And I explained to him, the concepts of voluntarism and and the idea that all human interaction ideally is voluntary, and that coercive force is always immoral, and only defensive force.
That
is
always
moral.
gets me. We have no idea what you guys stand for. We will fucking tell you. We will spend 3 years podcasting about it every other fucking
Exactly.
weekend and tell you
And I told him,
exactly what we fucking stand for. Why don't you try asking?
and I told him about this podcast. I don't know if he's listening or if he's ever gonna listen, but I told him about this. Fun fact, by the way, he used to be a cop in Minneapolis.
Lovely.
And do you know what he told me about being a cop in Minneapolis?
Oh, you told me this one. Yeah.
You did.
He told me that they were in fact trained by an Israeli for their warrior cop training, and that the choke move that was used on George Floyd was in fact part of their training, and that his reaction to it was, oh my God, you can't do that. You're going to kill someone. And he was forced out of the force because of it.
Yep.
So really absorb this if you're listening to this. Israeli Defense Force fucking military groups have come here and trained our cops in warrior cop training, and the federal government is pawning off their old military equipment on fucking police departments all over this nation.
1033. Yep.
They are turning this country into the fucking Gaza Strip.
Yes. All right.
That's their goal. They want it to be that way.
Yeah.
During Thursday's hearing, McNabb also explained that while the Hawaiian shirts, igloo patches, and seemingly jovial jargon associated with the Boogaloo are new, the desperate movement that has evolved around the Boogaloo is simply the latest iteration of the broader anti-government extremist movement, a loosely affiliated network of right-wing groups.
I don't know anything like that.
Quote, the idea of the second American Revolution, where armed patriots gather, rise up, and overthrow the tyrannical government, has been the dream of anti-government extremist movements for decades.
Yeah, ever since you guys got fucking tyrannical.
I don't know. There's a little thing called Ruby Ridge. You might have heard of it. All right.
Yeah.
Over the last several months, she continued, quote, renewed conversations about gun control laws and restrictions, the COVID-19 pandemic, the recent mainstreaming of the deep state and anti-vaccine conspiracy theories, high unemployment rates, civil unrest in major U.S. cities, and the extreme divisiveness plaguing the upcoming general election have triggered a recent rebirth in the segments of the movement that focuses on firearms.
It almost sounds like the exact same environments that almost every single major revolution in the history of humanity has ever occurred in.
Yeah. Funny how that happens. And it's also funny that it doesn't occur to them when they're thinking, oh, we've got this growing subsection of our population that's really mad about tyranny. So we need more fucking tyranny.
Yes.
What?
Yes, that's exactly it.
Clearly, the answer
Everyone knows,
is
everyone knows that the response to gun control is more gun control, Jerica.
Yeah.
Very clearly, the answer is to simply arrest some more people and put them in the camps. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then
I would like
there's
to
less
point
of
out,
them in the general population to cause.
We will
segregation.
prove them wrong by doing exactly what they have been fucking accusing us of.
I mean, I just want to point out my shirt right now is the FEMA summer camp for the coronavirus.
and
We're we're District 5, by the way.
It's like
Sure.
it's like they're deliberately
District
trying
9,
to
West
fucking-
Coast.
It's like they're
I-
deliberately trying to grow the movement. Like their response to all of this could not be more pointed at alienating more fucking people as
Gosh,
time goes on.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny. I remember another government in the history of North America having done something similar where people were getting really ticked that they were being exploited so badly by a group of people in power who didn't care and just wanted to use them.
It's funny you say that because there's another quote from her that says, or from Birick, she says, quote, "The true accelerant of these movements is the internet." Beatrick compared modern extremist use of mainstream internet platforms to spread their hateful ideology.
Those damn printing presses, they're sedition.
And inspired violence to the way, quote, "Hitler used the new radio to push his views into German families' homes, thereby radicalizing an entire country into genocidal thinking."
Oh my God.
What?
You're literally the fucking Hitler in this equation, you fucking boob.
Not
Oh
only
my God.
not only are you Goebbels, but on top of that, I'm sorry, the new radio? The new radio.
That's what she says. Hitler used the new radio to push his views into German families' homes, thereby radicalizing an entire country into genocidal thinking.
no, the vast majority of the people in Germany didn't.
Who were the Nazis in Germany? I don't think that they were the extremists that wanted freedom.
Yeah, I don't think they were the right wingers. I just have
They
this
were the
something about
they were the fucking
socialist
government.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey, you know, it's almost like what did I do with those? Hang on. It's almost like Hitler might have said. Give me a second. Oh yes, these are my notes from the show. It's almost like he's. Hang on, give me a second. Oh, there it is. I got it. We got
He's
it.
looking for
All right.
stuff like a supply sergeant over here.
It's
Well, he's an accelerationist. I mean, he was preparing to burn those.
Yes, I'm an accelerationist.
Come on.
You're an accelerant. Can you just call us accelerant? That sounds fucking cooler.
He's an accelerationist who's going insanely slow right now.
Yeah. Accelerate, Andrew. Come on. We don't have all fucking night.
Get up. Read faster.
Dude, it's 11:15. I gotta go put my kids to bed.
Well, he said where he said that nationalism becomes socialism, socialism becomes nationalism. One is being in favor of one is being in favor of the other. That's actually from a speech from 1929 that he gave that you can
Nobody ever said he was
here's-
not an intelligent man. He was an intelligent man.
Oh, he was a terrible writer.
Yeah.
We're gonna go to Andrew again because he's gonna have another conniption. All right, Birick and other witnesses urged Congress to take action to stop the spread of these violent movements through social media and called for oversight to ensure that tech companies are held accountable for enforcing clear and concise policies against the kind of content used to recruit people to these movements and inspire acts of violence.
Goebbels. That's like literally fucking Goebbels.
Straight out of freaking Goebbels.
You know what we could do
the
is
definition of fascism.
we could seize the private companies from the people and then use that on behalf of the government, and then but resell it to someone who is more inclined to acquiesce.
And make sure that the
Uh,
people are only hearing the right ideas.
Yep.
Yeah, Yonkers.
You already see that.
Some Orwell. That's some Orwell right
You
there.
already see that in social media, in a lot of social media platforms today. Look at Zuckerberg and his collective.
Yeah.
And then you've got a lot of the YouTube censors. I'm still not entirely certain how this show stays up on YouTube, but maybe it's because our audience isn't quite big enough.
But
Yeah.
we're all just scared of some
Yeah,
of
We
us.
just fly under the radar.
yeah. Quote, this is again a quote from her. She says, quote, Congress has oversight responsibility to find out what the heck is going on in the social media world of this front.
No,
I would suggest Congress call the tech companies to account for what's in their terms of service and how they are enforcing their terms of service.
So to
By
sum this
banning
up,
people who do not post memes.
that could not be more fucking fascist.
oh yeah, to sum this up, what they're saying is
Fascism,
the people
fascism.
who own the companies must do what is in the best interest of the national good.
Mhm.
And if they don't, the government should take their
No, they must do
companies
what, in her
away.
opinion, is in the best interest.
Well, what
Yes.
the government's opinion is in the national... You know, there was a company in 1934 in Germany.
I heard this on the podcast.
Yeah, that was told to do what was in the best interest in the government's opinion of the national good. That was the Junkers Aircraft Company. And Junkers, the man who obviously owned the company and founded it, said, no, I don't want to build warplanes. That isn't what I want to do. So bite me. And their response was to seize the company in the interest of the national good, nationalize it, and then resell it to someone who would do what they wanted under a contract that said you have to do what government says. So it was all nice and legal. And it wasn't at all tyrannical, see, because there was a contract.
Because they had the authority to do it. It's not tyranny if they have the authority to do it, but they're the ones
absolutely.
who give
Just-
themselves authority
just-
to do shit.
Just follow the
So-
law. Isn't that what we're told? Just follow the law.
If you just get on the boxcars, nothing bad will happen to you.
Like,
Yep.
that would be a kick-ass life, being able to write rules and, like, get away with doing anything as long as I fucking wrote it down in my rules in, like, my little spiral-bound notebook.
We all
That'd be
took
fucking cool.
Yeah, we all wrote it down on a piece of paper. See, so therefore you're
Right.
obligated to obey
Yeah.
it because
Yeah,
we have it on a
these-
piece of paper.
Right.
These
And we get to
these
do this because we
535
wrote it
people-
down on this
yeah.
other piece of paper.
These
We're authorized to do
535
this.
people voted on it, and that's all that matters.
Yep.
That's all that matters for the rest of you 325, 330 million peasants out there.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
what
you
we're
are
telling you
all-
have to
Yeah.
do.
So she's literally calling for fascism.
Mhm.
Against-
Not someone from the Southern Poverty Law Center.
Oh,
saying,
never.
no.
All right, we got.
I
we're
don't
gonna,
believe
we're
it.
gonna
And
skip.
it's-
We're gonna skip one. We're just gonna get to this last article.
I
because
gotta
we're-
let go, so let's make it fast.
All right. CountryTime. Remember CountryTime Lemonade? Last year there was the little kids that had their shut down in Colorado by the police, and
Yeah.
CountryTime came out and they had that program where they're like, all right, well, we're gonna pay for the lawyers of anyone, or pay for the fines
Or the
and lawyers.
fines.
Of anyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll pay
Anyone
you
that
the
gets shut down.
fines for you. Anyone who's busted for this will.
All right, so they've taken another step. CountryTime is giving kids $100 bailout checks to support shuttered lemonade stands during the coronavirus outbreak.
Well, that's cool of them.
God damn,
Yeah.
that company is
That's right.
fucking cool.
Uh,
Like,
The coronavirus outbreaks may have placed a damper on the lemonade stand, a timeless summer tradition, but CountryTime is reimbursing the young entrepreneurs that run them. CountryTime, the lemonade and soft drink company owned by Kraft Heinz, announced it would issue $100 bailout checks to kids around the country whose lemonade stands have been shuttered due to the virus. The campaign serves as a nod to the Payment Protection Plan, a federal program that administered loan to small businesses struggling to stay afloat during the pandemic.
Which big businesses ended up using more than small businesses did, and that's a whole another fucking
The fucking
subject.
Catholic Church was
But-
able to use a loan from
yeah.
that to
And
pay
those
the
businesses wouldn't have been
Brady
shuttered if it
campaign.
wasn't for government to begin with, and so
The Brady campaign got a bailout, got a payment protection. All right. The effort also comes on the heels of CountryTime's 2008 legal aid campaign that covered permit fees for lemonade stands in states that require them. As a result, state legislators in Colorado and Texas both legalized stands and exempted them from the payments.
So I don't like the government doing it, but
Yeah,
CountryTime doing it is cool as
It's
shit. It's good
fantastic.
PR for them. It's gonna make these little kids' days. I mean, like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like, hey,
It's-
look, you couldn't do your lemonade stand because of the COVID
and
thing.
it's
Nobody
totally
was stopping.
voluntary.
You know
We
what?
got your
Let's
back, little
give you
bros.
$100. Yeah,
Yep.
that's
And it's another. And CountryTime is helping so many of the families by doing this. Like, those kids are gonna. They know that there's financial trouble in the home because of all of this. And those kids most of them are going to hand that money right over, and it's going to be used to buy groceries.
Yep.
So they're
Children-
like feeding these families.
Yeah. Children
You know-
under the age of 14 are eligible to apply for the quote Littlest Bailout Relief Fund with
Oh,
the
how
help of
cute.
a parent or guardian, and select will receive quote stimulus checks to help the kids preserve the values of lemonade stands, honest work, and entrepreneurship.
This
That's
is
so
so
cute.
cool. This
Right?
is so
Isn't
cool.
that cool, right? Like, quote,
Yeah.
due to these social distancing guidelines, lemonade stands aren't what they used to be, and we want to help kids foster their entrepreneurial spirit by offering a small relief to those who can't operate their lemonade stands this summer. That is from Andrew Deckhart, the brand manager of CountryTime. He said in a press statement.
Cute.
What I find really neat about that, and it shows a picture of a girl holding out one of these CountryTime lemonade checks. It looks just like a treasury check.
Oh,
Yeah, it literally looks just like a treasury check, but it's bright yellow.
It's awesome.
Oh shit! Yeah.
oh, it's like a Monopoly money treasury check. How cute.
That's
Except
so
they
cool.
can cash it for, well, I guess it's
And
Monopoly.
it's
It's
the
an
color of
actual
lemonade.
check.
Or
Yeah.
pea. I mean,
Yeah.
depending.
Lemons. Color lemons.
So, quote, the check
Cute.
can offset the loss of the revenue from the lemonade stand and can be saved, or better yet, spent to help invest in the local economy.
Oh,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and and like, oh god, that is so cool of them to do.
Like
Like,
that-
I don't
It
even
is.
like CountryTime because I think that it's way too much sugar.
It's
and
too sweet. Yeah, too
it-
sweet.
it's way too sweet. But it you know what? But I would drink it. Not happily, but I would, just to support the company, because they're so cool, so consistently with stuff like this. Like, that is amazing. That is
Yep.
so awesome.
My kids absolutely love CountryTime. Like,
So do
when-
mine. I always get the
when we
big
go to
things at
oh, yeah, the
Walmart.
big, like 5
Yeah.
containers of the powder.
Yeah, my 12-year-old just makes like jug after jug of that shit. And it's always in the fridge because the kids love it.
Maybe your 12-year-old should just mainline it and be done with it.
Yeah. Snort rails of it.
There was a time when I was 12 and there were pixie sticks. All right, that's not different
Yeah.
story. But
Yeah.
Oh, and they dye your snot blue.
That
Oh,
did
fuck
that.
but this is literally voluntarism in action,
Yes,
right?
it is.
And it's a huge PR a boost for them, because
Yep.
they're going to see this and kids are going to apply and people are going to be like, oh, hey, cool, CountryTime Lemonade.
What a
and,
great
like,
company. I'd really like
What a
to
great
support
company.
them.
Exactly. All right.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unfortunate that's owned by Heinz, but
And it's brand
Still
recognition
fantastic.
too. I mean, even people just walking down the aisle at the grocery store
Mhm.
and that name jumps out to them. Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
You know, CountryTime did that really cool thing. I think I'll pick up a can of this, you know?
Yeah, I was looking for a drink mix, but I'm gonna go with a CountryTime brand because, well, hey, they're
Because I like their
awesome,
business
and-
model.
Yeah, and that was super cool of them, and yeah, and that's, gee, it's almost like
They're-
the free
they're
market
up there.
might work.
They're
Yeah, and
up
it's
there-
almost
they're
like
up
doing
there-
good
yeah.
things for people does good things for you. And
Yeah, it's just being a decent human
In a
being.
world-
Freaking
right,
save
in a
your
world
business.
of like natural incentives,
Yeah,
things
they're-
would
they're up there-
probably work out
they're-
pretty
They're
decent.
getting up there with Pornhub on the cool cool
Yeah.
business, you know?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
Pornhub sponsored the plows, and it's like let Pornhub plow for you. And there was
Yeah.
also the ones where they sponsored leaf blowing, and it was like let Pornhub blow you or something like that.
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, pizza or
Pizza Hut,
Domino's.
Yeah,
Domino's
like-
or Pizza Hut. One of them they did the potholes.
Yeah, it was Domino's, because they'd fill it in, and once it would cool off,
That's
they'd throw
right,
a stencil
the
down
sign,
and paint
yeah.
their own logo over top of the pothole and be like, "Yeah, Domino's filled your hole." Like,
Yeah.
So
Fun
Yeah.
fact: there was a pothole out here just around. Andrew knows where I live. I live kind of up on top of a hill, and it's a nightmare to get to. All of the rain that we had earlier this spring caused a nice big deep pothole. I found some gravel, went and filled it in, packed it down. Then the city all of a sudden showed up, dug my gravel out, and filled the hole. Like,
Nice.
oh, we can't have these people doing it themselves.
you could have just spray painted a dick around it, and they probably would have done it too.
Yeah.
I'm the only one on the street. They wouldn't have
Was it-
cared.
in Detroit, they planted flowers in the potholes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Well, and remember that one really, really deep one. I don't remember where that was, where it was like that huge thing, and they like turned it into like a swimming hole where they like filled it with water, and everybody from the neighborhood was like swimming in it because it was like 5 feet deep. So they were just all like swimming in it, and they
Jesus.
started holding like pool parties there and stuff, to the point where the city finally got so much attention that the city
Yeah.
had to fix it, and they're like, "Oh gosh, look at that! Hey, it's only been here for 3 years. Hey, what do you know?" Like, it was so
It
old
was
that the
actually deeper than that. It's just it swallowed that many cars that they ended
yeah,
up.
I mean, it was really funny because like they showed pictures, and like the wooden, like, you know, the caution thing.
Yeah.
It was so old and had been there for so long that all of the paint had like peeled off, and like it was just like a sawhorse sitting there. It was so old. I think that was in Detroit, actually. It might have been in Detroit, but it was
Oh, that's
hilarious.
not surprising at all.
Because they like turned it into a swimming hole, and like that's what you have to get to the point of. But it's so cool that CountryTime's just like, no, screw the government, screw you guys, with the fixing, you know, paying permits, paying fines, whatever they need to, so the kids can enjoy this entrepreneurial spirit. And then when kids can't even do the entrepreneurial thing, they're like, hey, you know what?
We got your back, bros.
Yeah, we'll cover you. You guys would have probably made $100 this summer, so here you go.
Right.
No.
Yep.
Yeah, it's fucking cool. I'm happy.
That's what we are
Makes me
all
smile.
about here at Anarchy Among Friends Roundtable discussion.
Accelerationist among friends.
Only in my
Well,
friend.
that
Please don't
keeps our
drone me.
acronym farted.
Yes, we still get shit for that.
Yeah.
We get shit for farted.
Oh,
Sometimes that happens, you know. You just gotta you can't gamble quite so much.
Never
Shit
trust him.
happens.
Never trust him.
turn the dry run into a wet run.
Yes.
5. That's 5.
That's 5.
Yeah, I think that's a record. I think it's a record.
Record was 8, and it was on episode 69.
Okay.
That was also a very wet run.
That turned
For
into
some
a
of
hell-
us, it was.
Yeah, that turned into a hell of a wet run. Lindsay was on that show too, so that turned into.
She had her clothes off half the show too, which is
Yeah, she did. She did.
Appropriate for that show, I guess.
Yeah,
very
it made
That's-
sense. Good.
Oh,
Lindsay hates clothes, so well, she's kind of always mostly naked.
they're oppressive.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't like clothes either. I only wear them because it's socially not acceptable for me to go grocery shopping and nothing.
You haven't been
yeah,
to San-
Declan's
you haven't been
fighting
to San
that one
Francisco.
tooth and nail. I'm like, dude, you're too old to be running out of the house to the front yard in just your underwear. Like, I don't give a shit in the house, but
Well.
I mean, if you want to be able to run out for the ice cream truck when it comes by, you need to at least have shorts on at all times.
Just get him a Speedo and have
He's
him
not a
feel like
fan.
European.
Telling you,
Yeah, I'm like,
come
just
to
fucking
the
wear
Bay
your
Area.
swim trunks.
come to the Bay
Yeah,
Area.
man,
You can go grocery shopping naked, but you can't use your reusable grocery bag.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
heard
I
that
gotta
Walmart
go.
is
Yep.
using
All right.
and not pants.
Any final thoughts? Anyone?
Nope. Buy
Oh,
my book.
Yeah,
By
buy
Derek.
Derek's book. Definitely check out the episode that I did on the status quo, where I talked about fascism and its rise in the United States in detail, using exclusively original source material. Argue with me, you assholes. I dare you. Like,
I will put the link to that podcast in the description, along with link to Derica's book, Andrew's beard discount, Andrew's Facebook page, our Facebook page, and a bunch of other shit that nobody ever looks at.
nobody
And
ever
I would
looks
like
at
to,
it.
I would like to throw this out there just because it'll trigger. I know there's going to be some boomer that's going to watch this and be like, "What the hell?" Happy birthday, 91st birthday to Gaston Glock.
Glock's out for Gaston.
I was waiting for you to hold up the Glock.
Oh, yeah. He'll
got
do
one.
it. Yeah, Mr. 1911 fanboy over there. Holding up
Oh,
the Glock.
shit.
1911 fanboy holding up a 10mm Glock.
10mm
I
Glock.
have never been a
I have
1911
converted him.
fanboy. I have never been a 1911 fanboy. I will never
But I
appear to
still-
be a 1911 fanboy.
I
The
still
only
think
reason
it's
I bought the only reason I
10mm.
got the 10mm Glock, Andrew, is because it was the guy took what I offered him for it. And it's a 10 mil.
Welcome to the cult, man. Welcome to the
Fuck
cult.
no.
Also,
You're the
you know
fanboy,
what?
not
At this
me.
point, I want to give this patch away so bad. This patch has just been sitting here. We've tried to give it away three freaking times.
Just
All
message
you
Andrew.
have to do, yeah,
Message Andrew or message the Facebook page, the Anarchy Monk Friend Facebook page.
comment. Yeah, you know what? Comment on the Facebook page and say, I want that. That's all I need. And I will message you and I will say, hey, what is your address? And I will pay the postage and I will give you the patch, courtesy of Poppins Patches. I've been trying to give it away. I have several more patches to give away, which I haven't bothered because none of you can seem to understand how the hell to just enter the giveaway for this patch. You almost get there, but not.
Well, we accelerationists aren't the smartest, according
Dude,
to.
I run a Facebook group. People can't even like write the name of their neighborhood and fucking click I agree to the rules. Like they ask to join, but then they can't even click I agree.
Look
to the
at this
fucking
crap
group
that
rules.
I have to give. Look at all these patches that I have to give. I have so much stuff to just hand people free. Just give them. And all you got to do is
that's
follow
not
a few
all.
simple instructions. And I'll give it to you, including the famous
The Boogaloo Shark.
Boogaloo do shark. That is fantastic. It glows in the dark. It is amazing. It was wildly popular. I shared it. It turned into the single best patch that Poppins has ever had.
Until
And-
Etsy for using the word Boogaloo.
Yeah, it got kicked off of Etsy, so you can't even buy it off of Etsy anymore. This
Oh my
is
God.
actually the last one that you can ever get. It has never been out of its packaging. It is sitting here. I tried to give it away on my Facebook page, and no one apparently wanted it. Even the guy who won it, I commented and said, hey, send me your address, and you get the patch. And it's been a month, and he hasn't responded. So you know what? He's out of it. If somebody else wants it,
All right. This has been episode 98 for Anarchy Monk Friends Roundtable discussion.
Hey, Andrew, just real quick, I want to let you know my son wants it.
Tell your son to comment on the Facebook page.
yeah, comment on the Facebook page, share.
God damn it, you
Be
guys
sure.
are trying to get out of here after pee.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Make
I
sure
gotta
he
go.
likes the pages. I gotta do
Save
stuff.
it for the after show, you guys.
We have no after show because we're not professionals. All right,
Yeah.
this has been episode 98. Anarchy Monk Friends and Billy Mays, and we'll catch you next time. Peace.